to develop into many different cell types. In some cases, they also have the ability to repair damaged tissues. Stem cells are divided into two forms: embryonic stem cells and adult stem cells. Embryonic stem cells used in research today come from embryos that develop from eggs that have been fertilized in vitro. These are pluripotent stem cells, meaning they can divide into more stem cells or can become any type of cell in the body. This versatility allows embryonic stem cells to be used to regenerate or repair diseased tissue and organs. Adult stem cells supply new cells as an organism grows and to replace cells that can be damaged. Adult stem cells are said to be multipotent, which means they can only change into some cells in the body, not any cell. Adult stem cells are currently used to treat some conditions. For example, blood stem cells are used to provide a source of healthy blood cells for people with some blood conditions, such as thalassemia and cancer patients who have lost their own blood stem cells during treatment. Stem cells have already been applied successfully for a number of therapies, but most are at experimental stages and costly. Scientists expect further findings and developments in the field of stem cell therapy in the next years.
Okay, let's go back in time and we're gonna talk briefly about history of stem cell. Everything started in 1957 when the first human bone marrow transplant has been done by this man, Edward Donald Thomas, to try to cure leukemia patient. Unfortunately, it failed. Yeah, but he managed to succeed in 1959 when he did it between sets of identical twins. Later, in 1961, Canadian researchers proved the existence of cells that can self-renew repeatedly. That sounds similar. Cause that
Stem cells and adult stem cells.
yeah, what our group talking about, in case you don't know about it. Next, in 1978, stem cells were discovered in human umbilical cord blood. In 1981, Martin Evans first identified embryonic stem cell in mice, and in 1998, James Thomson, with his friend John Gerhardt, isolated human embryonic stem cell and grow them in Dallas. Wow, interesting. And the next very big milestone for the stem cell is in 2006 when induced pluripotent stem cells, or iPSCs, were made by Shinya Yamanaka from Kyoto University in Japan, obviously. He did it first in mouse. This process is a way to produce embryonic like or pluripotent like cell from adult cell. He first did with the skin of the mouse. Later, he also did with human. And because of this, we can now do the research without destroying human embryo, which is a controversial point of the stem cell. And because of this, he and Dr. John D. Gurdon got their Nobel Prize for this work. And now scientists, researchers are trying to develop the way to create organism that's like more complicated, like bigger, to replace for the patient. And because of that, we can do it like rejection free, because by the organ donation with different patients, it can be the rejection between that. So imagine that in the future we may be able to replace every organism is damaged. And also study of the stem cell, we also gain more knowledge about how organisms work and also how they develop. So Martha, my friend, we together and also other scientists will create the brightest future you ever imagined of. Our beautiful life is waiting for us in that world.
Wow, that sounds wonderful. Stem cells will be the future of all treatment and we are gonna have a wonderful time. Not so fast, guys. I think the stem cells are not promising. Stem cells cannot cure every disease, right? Yeah, but it still provides great potential to cure many diseases such as Parkinson, Alzheimer's, cancer, diabetes, and many, many more. Adult stem cells can turn into all of them, so you will use embryonic stem cells, so which come from only 5 days old fertilized eggs. So you literally allow sacrifice 5 days old future little babies for your so-called great potential. So even United States President George Bush banned stem cells research fund in 2001. So be a little more ethical, man. The cells we use only come from vitro fertilization clinic as a donation. So those eggs otherwise would be lost or destroyed. So anyway, the technology is moving forward fast. So now we can convert adult cells into immature stem cells. And I hope there will be no ethical issues soon. Until I find another one. So I heard that there was some side effects of stem cells therapy, such as narrowing one's artery, and what if there are many dangerous side effects? What if patient's body reject other people's stem cells? That's exactly why we need more research on this field. It will help scientists to learn more about human body, and also scientists will be able to test millions of potential drugs and medicines. So organs could be grown in lab from stem cells and transplant to patients. So aren't you an engineer? I'm not a biological engineer. I am transdisciplinary engineer. What is transdisciplinary engineer?
Stem cells and adult stem cells.